In the year 2049, Earth had become a bustling hub of innovation and technology. Cities stretched high into the sky, their glass and steel surfaces gleaming in the sunlight. Below, the streets were a vibrant tapestry of human activity, a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of humankind. However, the tranquility of this thriving planet was about to be shattered by an unexpected threat. The first signs of trouble came from the fringes of the solar system. Long-range sensors positioned on the outer planets detected unusual energy fluctuations, patterns that defied all known natural phenomena. The scientific community buzzed with theories and speculations, but it wasn't until the alien ships pierced through the atmosphere unannounced that the grim reality set in. Earth was not alone in the universe. The aliens, known as the Krylons, were formidable beings. Standing over 7 feet tall, their skin shimmered with a metallic sheen, reflecting light with every movement. Their eyes, devoid of pupils, glowed with a haunting blue light, making it difficult to gaze directly at them. Their arrival was swift and devastating. Within hours, major cities around the globe were under siege. The Krylons didn't come to negotiate or explore. They came to hunt. Humanity, caught off guard, struggled to mount a defense. Traditional weapons were ineffective against the Krylons' advanced armor and technology. The aliens moved through cities with terrifying efficiency, capturing humans with nets made of energy that paralyzed and subdued their captives. Amidst the chaos, a glimmer of hope emerged in the form of Earth's bounty hunters. These were not the lawmen of old tales, but elite mercenaries, skilled in combat, and equipped with cutting-edge weaponry. Among them was Tara Blake, a renowned hunter known for her cunning and relentless pursuit of the most dangerous criminals. When the Krylons invaded, she saw it not just as a threat, but as a call to action. Tara, along with her team of skilled fighters, began to strike back. Using guerrilla tactics and leveraging their knowledge of the urban landscape, they launched surprise attacks against the alien invaders. Each skirmish taught them more about their enemies' weaknesses and strengths. Tara discovered that while the Krylon armor was resistant to bullets and explosives, it was vulnerable to high-frequency sound waves, a weakness that could be exploited. The bounty hunters' counterattacks began to turn the tide. News of their successes spread like wildfire, igniting a spark of resistance across the planet. Humans who had initially felt powerless started organizing themselves, forming militia groups to join the fight. Tara became a symbol of human resilience, her name whispered in awe and respect in the hidden corners of besieged cities. As the first chapter of this war came to a close, Tara and her team stood amidst the ruins of what was once a bustling market square. The smoke from the day's battle hung heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the cost of their hard-fought victory. But in their hearts, there was a flicker of hope. For the first time since the invasion, humanity had not only defended itself but had struck a significant blow against the Krylons. This victory, however, was just the beginning. Tara knew that the war was far from over. The Krylons would regroup and come back even stronger. But so would the humans. With each battle they learned, they adapted, and they grew stronger. Earth was their home, and they would defend it at all costs. As the sun set over the horizon, casting long shadows over the city, Tara looked up at the darkening sky. There was a storm coming, and she was ready for it. In the silent vacuum of space, the Krylon mothership loomed like a dark fortress, its hull bristling with weapons that glinted under the distant sun. Inside, Commander Zorath surveyed the Earth through the shimmering holographic displays that filled the command center. The human resistance, particularly the exploits of the bounty hunters, had been an unexpected variable in his invasion calculus. Zorath was a veteran of many conquests, his features hardened by countless battles. His skin, a deeper hue of metallic gray compared to his subordinates, marked him as a high-ranking member of the Krylon hierarchy. As he watched the blue planet below, his thoughts were not of retreat, but of recalibration. The humans were resilient, yes, but they were still outmatched. He would make them understand this, one way or another. Back on Earth, Tara Blake and her team huddled in the shadowed remains of an underground bunker that had once been part of a rapid transit system. Maps, digital screens, and various pieces of alien technology were scattered around, the spoils of their recent skirmishes and the tools for planning the next. Tara, her face illuminated by the soft glow of a tactical display, outlined their next operation. "Listen up," she began, her voice firm. "We've got intel on a Krylon supply route. If we hit them there, we can slow down their advance and maybe get our hands on some of their tech." Her team, a diverse group of former military personnel and tech specialists, listened intently. Among them was Jack Wildcard Mason, an expert in explosives and unconventional warfare. His grin was almost feral in anticipation of the upcoming mission. "Sounds like a party," he chimed in, cracking his knuckles. "What's the plan?" "We'll split into 2 teams," Tara explained, pointing to the map. "Team 1, led by me, will intercept the convoy here." She tapped a point on the map, while Team 2, led by Wildcard, will flank them from here. As the team geared up, the tension was palpable, but so was their determination. Each member checked their equipment, loaded their weapons, and prepared for the sortie. They were not just fighting for survival anymore. They were fighting to win. Meanwhile, aboard the Krylon mothership, Zorath received reports of the planned resistance movements. He studied the data, a sly grin forming on his metallic lips. He had anticipated this move. It was time to set his own trap. "Prepare the ambush," he ordered his subordinates. "Let these humans learn the price of their defiance." The battle was fierce. Tara and her team ambushed the Krylon convoy as planned, but the Krylons were ready. Energy blasts lit up the night sky, and the ground shook with the force of the confrontation. Tara found herself face to face with a Krylon soldier. The alien towered over her, its weapon aimed directly at her heart. With no time to dodge, she did the only thing she could. She charged. The move caught the Krylon off guard. Tara's shoulder slammed into its midsection, knocking the wind out of the creature despite its size and armor. She wrestled the weapon away, turned it on the alien, and fired. The energy weapon discharged with a loud crack, and the Krylon fell, its body hitting the ground with a thud. Breathing heavily, Tara looked around. The battle was chaotic, but her team was holding their own. Explosions from Wildcard's team could be heard in the distance, a sign that the other part of the plan was also working. As dawn broke, the Krylons, realizing the intensity of the human resistance, began to withdraw. Tara and her team regrouped, counting their casualties and salvaging what they could from the battlefield. They had won this battle, but at a cost. Each victory brought them one step closer to understanding the Krylon technology, one step closer to turning the tide permanently. But the war was far from over, and Tara knew that each battle was just a prelude to a larger confrontation, one that would decide the fate of their world. As the dust settled from the previous night's skirmish, the scars of battle were evident on the ruined landscape and the weary faces of Tara's team. The bunker was abuzz with activity as they patched up injuries and repaired equipment. Yet, amidst the chaos, a new piece of intelligence captured Tara's attention. An encrypted Krylon communication signal intercepted by their tech specialist, Lena. Lena, a former communications officer, worked her magic on the alien tech with a focus born from years of decrypting enemy signals. "Got something," she announced, pulling up the decrypted message for Tara to see. The screen flickered to life, revealing a schematic of a much larger Krylon operation than anything they had encountered before. It was a mining facility, extracting a rare mineral essential to the Krylon's energy weapons. Tara studied the schematic, her mind racing with possibilities. This facility was not just another target. It was the key to crippling the Krylon's military capabilities on Earth. "We take this out. We cut off their ammo supply," she muttered, more to herself than anyone else. The plan was simple yet daring. Infiltrate the facility, plant explosives at critical junctures, and escape before the detonation. It required precision, stealth, and a bit of luck, qualities Tara's team had in spades. The night was dark as they approached the facility, the new moon offering little illumination. The complex was heavily guarded, with patrols crisscrossing the perimeter and drones buzzing overhead. Tara led her team through the shadows, avoiding sensors and disabling guards with silent precision. Their progress was slow but steady, Inside the facility was a labyrinth of corridors and large industrial chambers. The air was thick with a metallic tang, and the hum of machinery filled their ears. Tara and her team placed the explosives carefully, each one a promise of destruction to come. The tension was palpable. A single mistake could alert the entire garrison. As they set the last charge, an unexpected patrol stumbled upon one of Tara's teammates. The alarm was raised, and suddenly the facility was a hornet's nest of activity. "Move out!" Tara barked, and the team dashed towards the exit, dodging energy blasts and returning fire. They were almost clear when a massive shape blocked their path. It was a Krylon commander, larger and more menacing than the soldiers they had faced. The commander lunged at Tara, who rolled away, barely avoiding a crushing blow. She fired her weapon, but the shots bounced off the alien's armor. Realizing that firepower wasn't enough, Tara switched tactics. She led the commander on a desperate dance through the facility, dodging and weaving through the industrial maze. Her team followed, drawing the fire of other Krylons away from her. Finally, she led the commander straight to one of the charges. With a quick flick of her wrist, she activated the explosive. "Now!" she yelled, and the team bolted for the exit. The explosion was monumental, a fiery blossom that engulfed the commander and destabilized the facility. Outside, as they watched the facility crumble, the ground beneath their feet shaking with the force of the blast, the reality of their victory sank in. They had done more than survive. They had delivered a crippling blow to the Krylon invasion. Yet as they made their way back to the bunker, Tara couldn't shake the feeling that this victory would lead to greater challenges. The Krylons would not take this attack lightly. A harsher retaliation was inevitable, and Tara knew her team needed to be ready. They had proven they could hit the enemy hard, but the coming days would test their strength like never before. As they disappeared into the night, their spirits were a mix of triumph and resolve, ready for whatever came next. The aftermath of the mining facility's destruction sent ripples through the Krylon command structure, sowing confusion and anger. Aboard the mothership, Commander Zorath faced the ire of his superiors, their communications crackling with impatience and demands for swift retribution against the human insurgents. Zorath, however, remained calm, his mind working through the situation with tactical precision. This setback, he concluded, required a response that would not just punish but terrify. On Earth, Tara and her team used the brief respite to strengthen their defenses and expand their network. Safe houses, supply caches, and secret routes were established throughout the urban ruins, creating a web of resistance that could be activated at a moment's notice. The team trained relentlessly, their drills becoming more complex with each session. Tara knew that the Krylons would adapt quickly, and so must they. The next Krylon strike was brutal in its efficiency. Without warning, several cities around the globe were targeted simultaneously. The aliens deployed a new weapon, a type of drone that emitted a debilitating high-pitched noise, disrupting electronic devices and disorienting anyone within its range. The invasion force that followed moved in with lethal precision, capturing hundreds of civilians. Amid this chaos, Tara received word that a group of civilians was trapped in a nearby building, surrounded by Krylon forces. Without hesitation, she mobilized her team for a rescue operation. As they approached, the sound of the Krylon drones became nearly overwhelming. Lena, quick-thinking and resourceful, hacked together a makeshift device that dampened the drone's effects, giving the team enough relief to push forward. The building was under siege, Krylon soldiers methodically searching each floor. Tara and her team slipped inside, moving silently through the dimly lit corridors. They reached the civilians, a huddled group of men, women, and children, terror plain in their eyes. "Stay quiet, follow my lead, and we'll get you out," Tara whispered, her voice steady despite the pounding in her chest. She led the group towards the back exit, her team covering their retreat, engaging Krylons in brief, fierce skirmishes to keep them at bay. Outside, the city was a labyrinth of fire and shadow, the ongoing conflict transforming it into an alien battlefield. The escape route was perilous, strewn with debris and fraught with danger. Yet under Tara's leadership, the group moved with desperate purpose, dodging patrols and avoiding detection. As they neared safety, a large detachment of Krylon troops blocked their path. Tara assessed the situation with a glance. Retreat was not an option. Too many lives were at stake. She signaled her team, and together they launched into a daring frontal assault. The fight was intense, each member of the team pushing themselves to their limits. Explosions lit up the night as Jack detonated improvised charges, creating a smokescreen for their final push. Through sheer grit and determination, they broke through the Krylon lines, the civilians safe at last. Back at the bunker, as they tended to minor wounds and debriefed, the weight of the day's events hung over them like a shroud. They had won a significant victory, but the cost was becoming ever clearer. In the quiet moments after the debriefing, Tara looked at her team, seeing the strain on their faces, but also the resolve. They were more than fighters. They were protectors, a last line of defense for a battered humanity. As the world outside seemed to descend deeper into conflict, their resolve only hardened. For Tara, the fight was far from over. It was just entering a new, more desperate phase. She readied herself and her team for what was to come, knowing that each victory brought them closer to a final confrontation, one that would decide the fate of both species. As the resistance solidified, whispers of Tara's exploits reached other human enclaves around the world. Her actions sparked a coordinated global response. Isolated groups started forming a loosely connected alliance, each cell inspired by her courage and tactical genius. The resistance began to operate not just in skirmishes, but as part of a larger, more cohesive strategy aimed at disrupting Krylon operations globally. Tara's newfound role as a symbol of global resistance brought with it an increased responsibility. She coordinated with leaders from various cells, sharing intelligence and planning synchronized strikes. This network, though rudimentary, became an invaluable asset in the struggle against the Krylon occupation. The next objective was clear: to disable the Krylon's orbital command center, a satellite that coordinated the alien ground forces and maintained their communication lines. Taking it down would severely cripple their operational capabilities on Earth. The plan required precision and a bit of space engineering, an area where human technology was still catching up to the Krylons. Milo, the team's engineer and a former space agency technician, proposed a daring solution. They would retrofit a captured Krylon shuttle with human technology, creating a hybrid craft capable of breaching the satellite's defenses. The plan was audacious, the kind of gamble that could turn the tide of the war if successful. Work on the shuttle proceeded in secret, in a hidden base deep in the mountains. Here the team combined human ingenuity with alien technology, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. As the launch date approached, Tara and her team underwent rigorous training for zero-gravity combat, knowing that every moment in space would be perilous. The launch was a spectacle of defiance. As the hybrid shuttle pierced the sky, a mixture of hope and fear filled the hearts of those who watched from below. The ascent was smooth, the alien technology integrating seamlessly with the human modifications. Tara, aboard the shuttle with a select team, felt the weight of their mission. This was not just another battle, it was an assault on the heart of the Krylon strategic network. Orbiting Earth, the Krylon satellite loomed large, its defenses activated as it detected the approaching shuttle. Energy weapons fired, pulses of light streaking through the void toward them. Milo, piloting the shuttle, executed evasive maneuvers, each twist and turn calculated and precise. Inside the satellite, the combat was fierce. Zero gravity added a layer of complexity to the firefight. Tara and her team used the environment to their advantage, propelling themselves through the corridors with practiced ease. They planted explosives at critical junctures, systematically dismantling the satellite's capabilities. As they fought their way to the control center, a realization dawned on Tara. This satellite was more than just a command hub. It was a linchpin in the Krylon war effort, possibly their only link to their home planet or fleet. Destroying it could not just cripple but potentially strand the Krylon forces on Earth. With the charges set, Tara and her team made a harrowing escape back to the shuttle. The explosion that followed was a silent bloom of fire and debris in the vacuum of space, the satellite breaking apart in a graceful yet devastating ballet of destruction. As the shuttle returned to Earth, the impact of their success was immediately apparent. Krylon units, now isolated, fell into disarray. Communication blackouts swept through their ranks, leaving them vulnerable and confused. Back on the ground, The resistance was quick to capitalize on the situation. With Tara's guidance, they launched coordinated attacks across the globe, exploiting the sudden weakness in the alien command structure. Each victory inspired further rebellion, the momentum of resistance growing with each passing day. As the world slowly reclaimed from the clutches of the Krylon occupation, Tara stood at the forefront, a beacon of human resilience and defiance. The battle for Earth was far from over, but now, more than ever, victory was within reach. A testament to the courage and unity of its people, the tide of war had turned distinctly in humanity's favor. With the Krylon Orbital Command Center destroyed and their ground forces in disarray, the aliens found themselves increasingly cornered. The resistance, emboldened by recent victories, began the final push to reclaim Earth. Cities, once shadowed under the threat of occupation, slowly witnessed the resurgence of hope as human forces advanced. Tara, leading from the front, understood the critical stage of their campaign. The Krylons, though weakened, were still a formidable enemy. Their technology was advanced, and their soldiers, despite the confusion, fought with a desperate ferocity. Tara knew that underestimating them now could lead to disastrous setbacks. As the human resistance tightened its grip, they focused on the last known stronghold of the Krylons, a massive base located in what was once a thriving metropolis. Intelligence suggested that Commander Zorath himself commanded from this location, directing what remained of the alien forces in a last stand. The final assault was planned with meticulous care. Tara coordinated a multi-pronged attack, involving various resistance cells that had proved their mettle in countless skirmishes. This time the strategy was not just to attack, but to encircle and eradicate the alien presence completely. On the eve of the assault, Tara met with her team. Her eyes swept over the faces of her comrades, each marked by the trials of war yet unyielding in their resolve. "This is it," she said, her voice firm. "Tonight, we finish what we started. For Earth, for humanity, we end this war." As night fell, the city became a battlefield once again. Explosions lit up the sky, and the sound of gunfire echoed through the deserted streets. Tara and her team infiltrated the Krylon base, moving stealthily to avoid detection. Inside, the corridors were stark and illuminated by the harsh glow of alien lights. They encountered stiff resistance as Krylon soldiers, realizing the significance of the assault, fought with a brutal determination. However, the humans, driven by the prospect of final victory, matched their ferocity with skilled combat and strategic superiority. The path to the command center was heavily guarded, but Tara and her team pushed forward relentlessly. They breached room after room, disabling security measures and overcoming every obstacle in their way. Finally, they reached the command center. Commander Zorath awaited them, his figure imposing even in defeat, his eyes glowing with a cold fire fixed on Tara as she entered. "So you are the one who has turned the tide," he spoke, his voice resonating with a metallic timbre. Tara faced him, her weapon raised. "This ends now, Zorath. Surrender, and perhaps your people can find mercy." Zorath sneered, a sound more of scorn than amusement. "Krylons do not surrender," he declared, igniting his weapon, a blade of pure energy. The duel that followed was fierce and swift. Tara parried and dodged, using her agility against Zorath's strength. The clash of energy against metal filled the room with sparks and noise. Finally, with a deft maneuver, Tara disarmed Zorath, pressing the point of her weapon against his chest. "It's over," she stated, her breaths heavy but her stance unyielding. Zorath, defeated, deactivated his weapon. "So it seems," he conceded, bowing his head. With Zorath's capture, the remaining Krylon forces, leaderless and broken, ceased their resistance. The news of the victory spread quickly, igniting celebrations across the globe. As dawn broke over a free Earth, Tara stood amidst her team, watching the sun rise over a landscape that was once again their own. The war had left its scars on both the planet and its people, but it also brought with it a new beginning. From the ashes of conflict, humanity would rebuild, wiser and more unified. Tara, once a simple bounty hunter, had become a symbol of that indomitable spirit. As she looked towards the horizon, Her heart was heavy with the cost of their freedom, but hopeful for the future they would now forge together. The war was over, and a new chapter for humanity was just beginning.